It's that time again. Time to talk about crime fiction and some of my favourite cliches. And another typical scenario that is played out in crime fiction is the idea that a newcomer will light the touch paper for a constant wave of crime in an area that formerly had none or very little. It's usually an idyllic area in a sleepy village or a small town, but wherever it is, when the main character, our hero, the amateur detective, rocks up, it will go from being a sleepy, leafy village where everybody was lovely and everybody got along to being something out of Take a Break magazine. If you're American, imagine the Jerry Springer Show, but imagine that all the contestants that have ever been on that show live in the same village. And you want to open a coffee shop or an antique store or a bed and breakfast or something along those lines. What could possibly go wrong? So the main character and the formerly idyllic area will have one thing in common. Prior to their coming together, neither have much involvement in crime. But the minute that the main character makes that fatal decision to move to Somewhereville and opens something store or retire or take a long holiday from something, the universe will decide to send them a plague of locusts in the form of relentless crime, which the main character must solve. For some reason. It won't take long. They'll probably trip over a dead body the minute they open the coffee shop door to do the dusting before the grand opening. And instead of dusting, they'll be bleaching bloodstains out of the furniture. In between trying to convince the suspicious locals that they're not harbingers of doom, trying to solve the crime, and trying to get on with whatever brought them to Somewhereville in the first place. And despite the fact that the newcomer brought this tidal wave of law-breaking behaviour to It Used to Be Nice Hereville, he or she will never be the culprit. Every single resident of the village may believe that they are, but of course they never are. It will be somebody that the village has known for years, who nobody ever expected would do something like this, whatever this is in the particular book. And this sudden, oh so coincidental deterioration of the ambience of their new stomping ground may only be hinted at, but sometimes it's stated outright.
David died in the village before you arrived.
And even then, it's usually only commented on in the first book, and then everybody forgets that Somewhereville used to be a good place to live and raise the children, and just fatalistically accepts the fact that fate has decided to pick them up one by one, until there's only one person left living in the village. Our hero. Our very lonely hero. So the moral of these stories is, don't try anything new, never visit the countryside, don't inherit property from a relative you've never heard of, and definitely don't begin a new relationship during a murder investigation. You have been warned.